Did you keep any props? A lot of the guys I know kept their boots.
The only thing I have is my wings from my uniform that I keep on one of my favorite denim jackets that I've had for many, many, many years, and they've never been taken off since I left.
Excellent.
And speaking of props, Anthony from Peterborough, Canada, wanted to know how long did it take you to get used to your boots?
Oh, those things were horrible, man. Oh, I mean, I've heard all. Well, I'm sure you've heard all the stories about put them on in a hot bath and all that stuff. No, none of that worked. The only thing that worked, I lost count of the number of blisters those things gave me. But the only thing that worked was just wearing them and breaking them in. And they still hurt at the end of the shoot. Mine were would not break in. They just wouldn't. And spit shining them was the most unbelievably boring thing you've ever done. But we had to do it all. And I could never get the shine. I mean, I remember Nolan Hemmings, who played Chuck Grant. He used to be able to, he turned them into mirrors, and I'm saying, no, how do you do that? And he's like, well, look, you just got to go really, 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 really small in the circles, and he would literally, you couldn't see his finger move. And I'm like, I looked at him and I said, no, that's going to take you 5 hours. I'm not going to do that. And then Dale Dye, and Farnsworth would come up to me and sort of look at my boots and say they were rubbish and sort of make me do press-ups again and all that kind of stuff. But I just could never get used to those things. I could never get used to them.
You touched on the field strip earlier.
Yeah.
Emma from Sweden wanted you to maybe walk us through that real quick, because you just mentioned it, and there might be a couple people who don't exactly know what you were talking about.
Field stripping the M1. Oh God, yeah. I mean, again, I arrived, like I said before, I arrived a day late, and they basically Sergeant Farnsworth sort of told Adam James, played Petty. He said, you're in charge of Private Tipper over there, and make sure you can field strip his M1 in less than 1 minute. And Petty sort of went, yes sir. And so we were sitting in the shower rooms while everyone else was sort of bunking up for the night, and he was talking me through it. And I did it. I did it absolutely no problem. I sort of did it. Put it back together, and I'm like, great, fine, I got it. No problem. I thought that's done. Got it. And then of course the next day, Farnsworth sort of gets us all round for he did daily chats with us every night for about half an hour and sort of would tell us sort of about his experiences and what you do in certain situations, blah blah all that. But he walks in with an M1. We had to hand in our weapons every night to the armory. We had a card that we used to keep with us, and it was your weapons card, and you could check out your weapons with it. In my case, the bazooka and all the shells as well, the fake one, the real one, and you'd hand the card, hand the card in, then you'd hand the weapon back in, to give you the card back. The card actually was also a pass to pretty much every nightclub in London at the time we were shooting. It was quite cool too. And basically, he walks in with this M1, and I immediately, as he walked in, I know, oh my God, I know exactly what he's going to do. And he's got a blanket over one shoulder, and I said, that's me having to strip it in front of everyone. And of course, I start panicking, and I start like, I'm never going to remember to do it. And he lays it out, and sort of, I was already on my feet by the time he went, Tipper. Okay. And so I took it apart, fine. No problem taking it apart. But then I'm looking at about 20 pieces, and I'm going, I have absolutely no idea. I could barely determine what the stock of the gun was, let alone where the little springy thing goes. So I'm sitting there looking at it for about a good minute, and Fonz was like, anytime, Tipper. And then he sort of says, red on top, and that was his nickname for Damien Lewis, on your face. And so Damien has to get into a press-up position, and he's standing there in a press-up position, and I'm going, oh my God, and Damien's in there, oh my God, and Lewis is in there, and he's gonna kill me, and oh my God, I'm gonna become a pariah in the whole company, and I just have no idea where to begin. And then Ron got on his in a press-up position as well, and then eventually everyone and all this pressure, and by that point I've started trying to assemble this thing. And it's sort of turning into more like, it's sort of a hammer or something, completely wrong. And then I put it together, and then of course there's like 3 pieces left. I think if it actually fired, it'd probably blow up. And eventually I get it right, but it was the most, by that time everyone's sort of trembling, and people are starting screaming in pain as they're in the press-up position. and it took me about 5 minutes, and it was horrible. But I got it right the next time. It was absolutely fine. But it took an age, and it was just, oh my god, it was the most horrible thing I've ever done as well. It just very embarrassing because it was filmed by someone as well. I can't remember who actually filmed it, because obviously Ron was in the press opposition, but someone filmed it, and it's on the making of.
Oh God, that's funny.
It was bad.
Now, you've already mentioned the fact that you and Shane Taylor are best friends. You've known each other. You went to school together. Who else did you become close to on the set?
Well, I mean, funnily enough, I knew Nolan Hemmings from before, because he was at drama school with me as well, and I knew Ezra Godin, who's a very good friend of mine as well, a very close friend of mine from way back. He was at drama school with Shane and myself as well. And so I went into it knowing 3 guys on the cast already, and very, very good friends of mine. And I became very close with a lot of guys. I mean, I still hear from Dexter every now and then, Dexter Fletcher, Ross McCall. I get the odd email from him. I haven't seen him in years though, because he's been back in the States for a long time. And a few other people, Ben Kaplan, who played Smokey Gordon, see him every now and then as well. All of the English guys, really. I haven't really seen any of the American cast since they all left. I haven't been to any of the barbecues. I've always been here doing stuff. Doug Allen, obviously, as well. I know quite well. You know, I still know all of them. I made friends for life. But like I said, we bump into each other, and it's like we saw each other last week. I think there will always be that bond between all of us. No, I mean the best friends I've made in the industry have all been from Bang the Brothers. Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt.